So we're shooting things off at the range on this edition of the SportsMax Zone as a Level 3 International Practical Shooting Confederation IPSC match is set to be contested at the Jamaica Rifle Association headquarters in the nation's capital, Kingston, on Saturday. Now, with the match being the final qualifier for the 2025 Handgun World Shoot, there should have been a number of regional shooters still in contention to make the South Africa-hosted global event, expecting to feature. That isn't going to happen anymore. We'll hear more about that in a moment. President of the Jamaica Rifle Association, JRA, Rowan Wilson, joins us on set to provide some insight. Rowan, welcome to the SportsMax Zone. I don't think we've ever discussed rifle shooting on the SportsMax Zone live in the way that we are about to for the next few minutes. Happy to have you on the show. And how big is this event on the weekend?
This is a pretty big event for the Rifle Association. Mm-hmm. The reality is it is a competition that sets our local competitors on the world stage at the largest competitive event for pistol competition in the world. So it's a pretty big event. It's a pretty big deal.
I know that there initially had been a projection of other Caribbean shooters involved in the event, but apparently they're not going to be here anymore. What's that about?
So the Caribbean invitees are not participating this time around. We have had quite a number of Level 3 matches over the last year, and we were fortunate enough to have participation from international competitors 2 or 3 matches ago. Unfortunately, based on the level of competition that's happening within the region and internationally, we won't be having any international participation this time around.
Yeah. About the shooting as a sport in the region, how prominent is it on the sporting landscape, and how satisfied as a shooting official are you with the level of interest and support the sport gets from a Caribbean perspective?
That's a very good question. So the level of interest is absolutely present. And there's a differentiation. There's pistol shooting and there's rifle shooting. Very interesting that you asked the question. We do have a rifle team that's traveling to Guyana this weekend, the very same day that this pistol competition is happening.
Yes.
That team is an 8-man, woman strong team, and they will be participating in the West Indies full bore competition, one that we expect them to bring home all the brass, literally. Yeah. The level of interest that is here, that exists among pistol and rifle shooting does exist. The reality is we don't have the support that we need. This is a forum that will help us in that stead. We're very grateful for this type of publicity. But pistol shooting is something that is very active. It is something that is, it's a sport that the competition is so ripened that we are at the worst stage. We do have a team also that is traveling to Argentina next month, a team of 14. And we do expect that team to
That's pistol or rifle?
Pistol. We do have a pistol team of both men and women that are traveling to Argentina.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned Guyana and the rifle shooting team that's going to the full board championship this weekend, I see that one of the region's most outstanding shooters, Ransford Goodluck from Guyana, passed away over the summer. A huge loss to the sport, because I know regionally he has been an iconic figure in his success, even in international events. So the Guyanese would probably still be mourning his passing, especially now that they're going to be hosting a full bore event just months after his passing at home.
Guyana, of course, being one of the more formidable teams within the Caribbean at full bore. The gentleman was here with us in 2022 when Jamaica hosted the full bore, West Indies full bore competition. Yes. We do wish the Guyana shooting fraternity our most sincere condolences.
Yeah, and talk to us about the qualification standard that will be required for these pistol shooters on the weekend to make the World Shoot in South Africa next year.
So it's a really grueling process. Over the last year, we have had, this is the 4th qualifying match. We have had 3 so far, 3 Level 3 matches. Note that the World Shoot is a Level 5, the highest level that pistol competition goes to. And the 3 matches were used to qualify, are being used rather, to qualify 8 competitors. There are 4 divisions. There is the production division, production optics, there is the standard division, and there is also the open division. Unfortunately, we can't create the greatest sense of equity among all the divisions. So we do have many competitors who are competing amongst the various divisions who are attempting to get onto the team to travel to South Africa in September next year.
Yeah, and you know, Lance asked you the question about interest, right? And you piqued my interest when you said that there's a team of women that will be traveling to Guyana to compete. Do you find that more and more women are signing up and getting involved when it comes to rifle shooting?
We do have a limited amount of women in rifle shooting. It's a sport that we hope to garner some interest among female shooters. But what I've recognized over the last few years is that an interest among females has peaked in pistol. So we do have, if you may remember, some time ago we had the advent of the Super Six, who later on became the Alpha Angels.
Right.
It involved 6 females, 4 of whom are police officers. They still are very active. In fact, at least 3 of them will be competing for a place on the team to South Africa. And that would be Renee Rickey, Yanni Campbell, who is the pistol captain over there at the Jamaica Rifle Association, and also Corporal Sheon Francis, who is a member of the Jamaica Constabulary.
I've seen some videos of Renee Rickey. It looks really cool when she does those videos, and you know, she posts them. She's on social media. I'm going to ask you, though, about how can one sign up and get involved if they are interested?
Okay, so the sign-up process isn't as simple as it may sound. First of all, you must be a licensed firearm holder. That's one of the biggest constraints that impedes the sport. In many other countries, it's easier to own or use a firearm from a range. Jamaica has much more stringent rules and regulations that govern the use of a firearm. So you must own a firearm. And if you are the owner of a licensed firearm, then feel free to reach out to the Jamaica Rifle Association. We do have trainers there who will help you to become au fait with the sport, and who will help you to become a part of it.
Yeah, and what about registration for Saturday's event? Is that closed?
So registration closes in another half an hour or so today.
Well, you just sign up.
There is a software referred to as Practice Score. It's online. So those who would like to register for the match will just need to jump onto Practice Score and register.
Okay, and I know fans are invited, you know, people can come and watch. It's an event. What's in it for the fans? I mean, apart from shooting and, of course, all of the excitement when it comes to competition, but what's there for the fans as well?
A plethora of excitement. Watching pistol shooters compete is quite an exhilarating thing. The competition is so gruel, it's so tough that the excitement of watching someone shoot a course of fire within a certain period of time or within a certain time, and watching other competitors try to catch that time, and not only catch that time, but better that accuracy, is quite phenomenal, something to watch.
Yeah, and one of the things when Lance asked you about support, you spoke about not getting enough support, and I'm thinking you're talking sponsorship-wise and corporate Jamaica coming on board to ensure that, you know, the sport can stay on, because I always say without money, you can't push any organization forward. You need money to be able to finance these competitions. You have High Pro Ace as one of the sponsors. If somebody looking at this show is interested in sponsoring, what do they do?
Reach out to the Jamaica Rifle Association. We're going to be more than happy. As a matter of fact, once the 8 members of the team are qualified, we will be very interested in having sponsors adopt one of those competitors. It's quite an interesting sport. It's quite an expensive sport.
Yeah.
And many times when our competitors travel abroad, unfortunately, they have to foot the bills on their own. We're very grateful for High Pro Ace for coming on board as our title sponsors. We're also grateful to Camp Corp. And I believe we have 15 other sponsors. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention them here. We do have on board Vice Burn Aluminum and Asphalt Roofing, Rio Nuevo, River Adventure, Somi Distributors, Matalon Roofing, All Terrain Equipment and Parts Limited, Nunes Concrete Construction, very amazing products, Ward Power Tools, Ricky Coatings, and 1 or 2 others. We're very grateful for them, and we're very grateful to them for coming on board and helping us with this weekend's competition.
Yeah, and Ron, just quickly on the sport itself and the separation from rifle and pistol shooting, do competitors straddle both events, or they're just straight specialists? Like, are there shooters who are good at both and would contest both pistol and rifle shooting contests?
We do have competitors. We do have a few
Yeah,
who straddle both.
Yeah.
It's interesting to note that you asked that question. Our former president, Major retired
Brown?
Major retired John Nelson.
Yeah,
John
that's
Nelson.
who you took over from.
He's traveling to Guyana.
Okay,
He
for the
also
full bore?
shoots pistol.
Yes.
And he shoots in the super senior category.
Yeah.
And that's based on his age. And he does really well. He's a pretty accurate shooter.
Yeah.
But we do not have quite a number of competitors who straddle both
Yeah.
sports.
Do you compete?
I do compete.
Okay.
I'm much more of a match official, though. So I do, I perform as a match official, but I do compete from time to time.
Yeah. On a point of clarity, the Olympic shooting competition is rifle, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And not pistol.
So there are Olympic disciplines that are pistol, but not for the kind of caliber
Yes.
that we participate in. It's air pistol and air rifle.
Yes, air.
So they're shooting pellets and not bullets.
Yeah. And I recall the Caribbean has had a couple of shooters at the Olympic Games since I've been covering sport. Not many and not often. Most Olympic Games, there are no Caribbean competitors in shooting. But is that an indication that the sport can be a lot more for the sport can be done to encourage shooters in the Caribbean to be at that level to qualify for the Olympics?
Where Olympic shooting is concerned, it is a discipline that we now hope to begin to grow at the Rifle Association. The air rifle and the air pistol shooting. Our small bore program has been dormant for a while, and we now have thoughts of reigniting that. It's interesting to note that within the Caribbean, the Jamaicans are absolutely the leaders where shooting in the Caribbean is concerned. We recently traveled to Barbados and shot a level 3 competition there, and Jamaica came away with quite a number of trophies.
Yeah, I seem to remember a Michael Maskell representing Barbados in shooting at the Olympic Games. But as I just mentioned, there aren't many Caribbean competitors at the Olympic level and would have competed at the Olympic level. So I would hope, suspect, anticipate that maybe LA 2028 may be a target for some Caribbean shooters to try to make the grade.
We'll certainly be shooting for it.
Good one.
And all the best, Ron, for the weekend's shoot to try to qualify for the South Africa World event, which is next year, September, you said.
September, correct.
Okay, well, we hope you have a good qualification this weekend, and some of your competitors will make the grade to get to the World Shoot in South Africa. Ron Wilson, the president of the JRA, joining us here on the SportsMax Zone in an historic presentation on the SportsMax Zone. We've never spoken shooting before live on the show in the way that we just did. We'll be back with more on the SportsMax Zone after this.